Breaking news, people. And this time, it's big. The Suns have officially gone all in to get the assets necessary to trade for Jimmy Butler. Sundo will explain the trade made today that is going to unlock the Jimmy door. But first, I'd just like to say that I really think it's a matter of when now, not a matter of if the Suns trade for Jimmy Butler. I'm willing to go on that limb and say I think that this is all but a done deal. Hit that like for us, please, and tell us in the comments how you feel about the Suns moving their 2031 unprotected pick for 3 lesser first-round picks from the Utah Jazz. Do you think they should use it to get Jimmy, or should they keep those first-round picks and try to rebuild this team that way? So I think it's a fair question. So, Sundo, what did Matt Ishbia exactly do today? Or James Jones, if that's how you want to play it.
Well, Gabe, the Phoenix Suns traded their highly coveted 2031 unprotected first-round pick to the Utah Jazz for 3 first-round picks. They are the less favorable from the Donovan Mitchell trade. But regardless, they are first-round picks. And so I imagine, like as you mentioned, we are going to use that in the Jimmy Butler trade. Or if all falls through, heck, we have a first and a second-round pick this year that we didn't think we would have at all. So hats off to James Jones and Matt Ishbia for making this happen. You can either get Jimmy Butler, or if all fails, you got yourself some draft capital for this upcoming draft. I couldn't be any happier with this move either way. If we decide to stay, hey, we got draft capital to build behind Booker and KD. If not, we go ahead and ship Beal and we send these picks and we get Jimmy Butler. I'm good either way. I can't imagine that they're not going to trade for Butler. There's been such a hoopla about Jimmy Butler since for a few months now. So I imagine you're right. This is a matter of when, not if. Pretty sure Jimmy Butler's on this way. It's going to take some creativity, probably a 3. I've even seen 4-team trade out there to make this happen. And so it's a wait and see game, and I'm excited for it.
You know, I've been watching a lot of Heat content lately, trying to keep an eye on their perspective. I've been watching Locked On Heat. Shout out to those guys. They do a really good job. From what I'm hearing, no one, and I mean no one but the Suns, want Jimmy Butler. And we are basically begging for Jimmy Butler. I mean, we're not just kind of excited about him. We are outside the Heat's window throwing rocks to wake them up with a boombox on our shoulder singing, "What is it going to take?" And I definitely don't get everything right on this channel. I'd hate to even go back and look to see if it's 50%. But I do think that I will have ended up getting this right. Beal's not going to the Heat, like I've said, but that doesn't mean Jimmy's not going to the Suns. I also had predicted that I thought he would poison the well with other teams, which he's done. And as we saw yesterday, the reports coming out that it's Phoenix or bust. So it goes a long way when the athlete asking for the trade makes it almost impossible to trade him to other places. But then also you have a very creative Phoenix front office making moves that don't sound at first possible, but then they end up making sense when you look at it. So when I heard we got 3 firsts for 1 first, it didn't make sense. But now it does. We're taking on lesser first-round picks, so that's the incentive for Utah here. Also, they're betting on the Suns being tragic come 2031. And Cleveland moving forward is looking really good, so they're betting on them to be in a stronger position. That's a conversation for another time. I don't think we're going to be bad in 2031 because I think we can always just turn around and do the unthinkable, and you know what that is. But I can't help but think, would we not be well off now with 3 first-round picks? Like, are we really about to turn 3 first-rounders into a 35-year-old that we're going to pay a max extension to? I mean, I guess I'm having some second thoughts here, but I would push the Jimmy button. I would get this deal done, and I think they're going to. The Suns want to go all in for this Kevin Durant window, and I think by this time next week, latest, Jimmy Butler is going to be on the Phoenix Suns.
I feel like with what you said about Matt Ishbia and James Jones, I feel like, yes, they got 3 firsts. They also got that second in the Nick Richards deal as well. So let's not forget about that. So we have a first and a second for this upcoming draft, plus the 2 that we got in the Jazz trade. I don't know if they're going to move all of them. There probably will have to be something moved, especially if you need to convince a team to take the Beal trade. You're going to have to give them something. But I can see Matt Ishbia sort of maybe making a move to where we get to keep one of those, maybe, because I mean, at the end of the day, as you mentioned, you're going to have to give Butler an extension. So you're still going to be in the second apron. You're going to have to figure out a way to build on this window that you mentioned. And so I could see them trying to play hardball, but I could also see Pat Riley saying, you want Butler that bad, huh? Well, guess what? I want all of it. And then also you're gonna have to send that second to the Bucks or whoever, so they take on that no trade clause with Bradley Beal. I can see that going either way. Man, it's tough. It's tough because I want to be selfish and say play hardball, keep at least one of those picks, preferably the one for this upcoming draft, so you can continue to build around what you have. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I think you're right. I think that Jimmy Butler button's going to get pushed. All them picks are going to be gone. They got to go wherever to make it happen. Jimmy Butler will be a Phoenix Sun probably by February. The beginning of February, I'm calling it right now.
The last thing I have to say on this is I know Bradley Beal has to accept this trade, but I truly feel that we've made him miserable enough. We've made him feel unwelcome enough. I think he dislikes his bench role enough that if you tell him he's going to get to go play with Giannis and Dame and start, I think he's willing to do that trade. What do you guys think? Tell us in the comments below. We'll see you guys for the next live stream. Hopefully we have Jimmy by then.